This is the Bachen Family History Project for Mr. Talerico's class, period EF, by me, Stephen Bachen. To start off, I will begin with the history of the last name Bachen. The last name Bachen originated in Germany. In medieval Germany, the last name Bachen was associated with conflicts of barbarian tribes. My story begins with a German circus performer named Samuel H. Backenheimer, but since the last name Backenheimer was too long to fit on the posters, he decided to shorten it to Backen. His acts were very popular around Europe, and because of them, he met his wife, Bessie Smith, who is my great grandmother. This is the Irish side of my family. Sam and Bessie Backen, now married, moved to Atlantic City, New Jersey, where they had my grandfather, Harry Backen. Meanwhile, on my grandmother's side, there was a man named Charles Buttress, who was Lebanese. Charles was an ice cream man and decided to move his business to Atlantic City, New Jersey. His company, Buttress and Sons, were the original makers of ice cream cones. Eventually, he had a daughter named Helen Buttress. Helen married Michael Schifolo, who, I'm sorry for not having any pictures of him, came from Italy. But my grandma just told me that he came from Italy on a boat. Helen and Michael had a daughter named Dolores Schifolo, who's my grandmother. One day, when she was 14, she was walking down the Atlantic City boardwalk when she met my grandfather, Harry E. Backen. Harry, who was 16 at the time, lied about his age so that he could join the Navy. He fought in World War II until the end of the war in 1945 and was awarded with many medals. In 1946, he returned to Dolores in America. This is when my grandparents got married. But since my grandma was only 17 at the time and considered a minor, they needed special consent from both of their parents. That same year, Dolores had her first pregnancy, which basically means my grandma could have been on Teen Mom. Little did she know, she was having twins. Therefore, my uncles Harry and Joe were born. A couple years later, she found out she was pregnant again, this time with my other uncle, Dennis Backen. A couple years after that, my uncles were in college when, surprise, my dad was born. And the rest is history.